Hey, what's up guys, Tony here, and here's some more Armored Kill for you guys. And if you take a look really quick in the top left hand corner, you're going to see it's the September 11th emblem, and I put that there sort of as my own private memorial to those who had lost their lives on September 11th. I really wanted to do a video on the 11th, but I was really busy with school and stuff because I had last Saturday off, and instead of being like a normal human being and getting my work done, being very proactive. I guess I should turn that around. Instead of being very proactive and getting my work done, I was a normal human being and I absolutely did nothing on Saturday. And so when Sunday came, I was like, holy crap, I'm behind. I need to catch up. And so I pretty much spent Sunday and Monday offline. I actually have pretty much spent most of this week offline so I could actually get ahead and stay ahead. Because I want to be able to do these King of the Hill videos, on the weekends, and get them out to you guys by midweek sometime, because that's what I like to do. So here's a quick tip for you guys. For those of you guys who are either pilots or aspiring pilots, this was a huge mistake on my part, and it was mainly because we'd been playing in the same lobby for the last 3 or 4 games, and the enemy players who'd get into the AC-130 were not even remotely interested in shooting down, aircraft with the anti-air guns. So I approached it very lazily, as you saw, and very slowly, as you saw, and I got shot down. So for you guys who might be looking for a quick little jet pro tip, attack it from the bottom, because every pilot, and this is me getting on a horse real quick, every pilot should get in the AC-130 and check out how far down those guns can traverse, because they go up. They can go up and they can circle around 360 degrees, but they don't go down beneath the wings. So always attack it from the bottom, and you'll see me do that later on. Like it only happens once. You get burned one time, and you're just like, okay, that was fun, but never again. I'm not gonna get tricked twice. What was that? It was a George Bush. Like he's like, fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, you can't fool me again, or something like that. And that's kind of how I felt. I was like, you can't fool me again. I know it's the score now. I see what you're doing, and I'm sad that I saw it the first time. It's so scary. But anyways, I just kind of wanted to do kind of a quick, just sort of like, hey, what's going on? Kind of checking in commentary, because like I said, I've been busy. I've been good busy, and someone asked me recently. Actually, it was Tan asked me recently. He was asking me like, hey, how's your senior year? What's it like? And all I could think about is when he asked me that was if you guys are in high school, if you're in high school now, say if you're a senior in high school now, you're at that point. If you're in high school, you're gonna get to that point. But when I was in high school, when I was a senior, I was at the point where I didn't really want to do anything. I was actually not the best student, but I wasn't the worst student by far. Like how do I put it? Like there came this time where you knew you're at the end, and because high school is mandatory, you have to go to high school at least until you're 18. And I mean, it's like technically you could drop out by 16. I think that's like the federal rule or whatever. But most smart parents will like, hey, look, stay in high school, get your dang high school diploma, and then you can go be a bum on the street wherever the hell you want to go. I mean, that's not like, good parents really don't say that, but for all intents and purposes, like they want you to finish high school, and get the minimum education squared away, so that way you could be literate, and and more than anything, when I think about high school, it's more of a rite of passage than anything else, because as far as like the education you get from high school, it's not gonna get you a good job. It used to be able to get you a job, and the way the education seems to be working now, more and more you need a higher degree to get those good jobs. So here I'm in a standpoint, or in a situation where I know that I need to get at least a master's degree if I want to be successful, if I want to be competitive in the market. Mainly because I want to go into education, and one of the requirements for what I want to do, the requirement I should say, is a master's degree. It's sort of the minimum requirement, and it goes up from there. If you want to be a higher paid teacher, you can get yourself a PhD for college level, and then go work at university and do research and do all that fun stuff, that you aspire to do. But anyways, the point of bringing up high school is because, like I said, when I was in high school, I was at that point where it's like, you know what, I am done. I'm over. This is finished. This is going to be awesome. I don't have to do another thing, you know. Like there's no, it's not compulsory anymore. It's totally gonna be because I want to go to school. And so I had that sense my senior year of just sort of like floating by, you know. I mean, I did stuff like yearbook, newspapers, because I was a big dork in high school, you know. I was like a photographer and a dork, and just that's just the way it was. And anyways, so on the flip side, here I am much older, because like most of you guys know, I'm a re-entry student into college, so I didn't get back to college until I was 24. Now here I am in my senior year of college with a totally different outlook on finishing. And I'll contrast it right now. As I sit here, my last year in college, now I'm at the point where instead of getting that feeling of, you know, I'm almost done, I can kind of cruise. That's really the attitude that most students have, especially high school seniors. That's the attitude that I had. You know, you could just cruise through the last 2 semesters, and then you're done, and then you don't have to go to school ever again. And that was my sort of my thought process. And I'm going to talk about this later on right here. And now my thought process is totally different. I am working harder this year already than I have in a lot of previous years, especially at a community college, but especially like say the last couple of semesters, because I see that the end is near, and I want to finish on a good note. I want to finish strong because I want to get into a master's program. You know, to get into a master's program, you have to have you have to meet certain academic criteria. You have to pass the GREs at a certain level. You have to have a certain level of you know, writing. You have to have a writing standard of writing that is good enough that university's like, yeah, we want you to be in this master's program because you're not an idiot. You know, you can write clearly, you can articulate yourself, you can argue your point sufficiently. So as I'm sitting here and making this video, in the back of my mind are 3 or 4 things that I could be doing right now to further myself and my education and get me to a place that I want to go. So sort of to kind of wrap up my, like, how do I feel, you know, like how's my senior year so far? It's exciting, it really is. I mean, this is the end of the 3rd week and it's kind of flying by already. I just told one of my peers yesterday, I'm like, I can't believe it's already week 3, you know, like we're going on the 1st month. There's only 12 more weeks left of this, you know. It's gonna fly by, and then, you know, here comes winter break. So it'll be here before I know it, and this whole process will be over before I know it, and it's an exciting sort of scary thing. And so I'm hoping that the amount of time that I stick into this thing will be worth it in the end. I'm pretty sure it will be. I know it's gonna be, just because I'm that kind of sort of a hard worker when it comes to that, and I really care. So anyways, I guess the bottom line is just, and I hate to be like, oh, I'm busy, you know, I'm so busy, I don't, you know, that's why I don't get on. It's not like that at all. It's just, it's such a different, like you're in a different headspace than, like, say when you're in high school, you know, and working to do whatever you want to do and sort of live your life as a high school student, and as a young adult, you know, when you're 18, or as a young or an older adolescent, I guess. It's sort of that weird sort of transitional area. You're like either a young adolescent or like an younger adult. You're like, oh. But anyways, I want to get back to that situation where I ran into the AC-130. I've noticed, and you guys in the comment section, you guys can talk about this too. I've noticed that there seems to be, and I've noticed this for a while, I've just never talked about it, but there seems to be sort of a gravitational field with some of these aircraft. It's mostly aircraft. I've noticed jets, any sort of fixed-wing aircraft. But there's a gravitational field with this, because there'll be times where I'm coming in right behind another aircraft and I'm slowing down because he's slowing down. But as you come up to him, you sort of get pulled, and then you overtake him, and then you kind of rubber band back to him, and then you guys are flying about the same level. And it's so weird because you're like hitting the brakes, you're like, slow down, slow down, slow down, and you should be sufficiently slow enough to stay behind them, because these jets are really very rudimentary sort of controls as far as, like, you know, their speed. You know, it's constant speed. You hit the brakes, you're gonna slow down really fast. Anyways, you still overtake those aircraft, and it kills some dogfights sometimes, because when you're lining up a shot, you're shooting this guy, and the next thing you know, you're getting pulled, you know, in front of him. You're like, what the hell? And then you get, you know, rubber banged back. You're like, oh my god, what's going on? Well, that's what happened to the AC-130. if you go back, you'll notice, don't go back right now because I'm still talking, but if you go back, you'll notice I'm sliding, and that's a jet sort of lingo. You know, you slide, you hit the rudder and you're going to slide. And so I'm sliding at this point where I should be able to slide and continue shooting at him and sliding out to his left. And but for whatever reason, I'm sliding, and I get about to the back of him where, you know, he's moving forward and I'm moving forward, yes, but I'm on the brakes and I'm sliding left. You know, I'm trying to stay behind him and just kind of slide by him. Well, it sort of like sucks me in there. You know, it's like a black hole. Suddenly you get that point where all of a sudden it's like, oh my god, I hit warp speed, and then I ran right into the back of the AC-130. It actually like pulled me through the AC-130, and you go out to the other side, and that's when I died. I was like, what is that all about? And that's happened a lot, and it's happened in tanks too. So anyways, guys, I want to get around to posting. I'm gonna actually make a podcast. I think that's what's gonna end up happening with the gang. I'm gonna post a podcast about Armored Kill and our thoughts on Armored Kill, and it'll probably be like a half-hour discussion, so I'll look for that in the future. But anyways, guys, thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing, thanks for listening to me, and I'll talk to you guys in the next video.